I know that most people that will see this stream is gonna be most likely on replays. I don't get a lot of stream viewers. If you see this, please subscribe and activate that notification bell. If I stream, come see me, come talk to me. Always down to have people on my stream. Here tonight, because it's freaking 12:30 a.m., so it's midnight 30. We're gonna have pretty cool planning. We're gonna go on automation and attempt at making the best rally car there is for automation. So I'm gonna make it like pretty much what do you say, like Ruby inspired car. I know Ruby wasn't like, they weren't the best cars because the safety and all was shit. Let's be honest. But the cars itself were amazing and the drivers were just crazy. While that, I will add a little spice to the stream. We'll be listening to a video on the Group B as we make the car. So it's gonna be a pretty chill stream for the beginning. I'm gonna do like an hour or two like making the car, then I will go on like rainbow and stuff, have some fun. I will not be finishing this car tonight, but I will be starting the project and making as much of it as possible in the time I will allow myself. I will change the screen now so you guys can at least see. So we're on I don't even know which, like we're on the last version of automation. We have superchargers and all. I will most likely make a twin charged engine. I will make it pretty powerful, but not too much. I will concentrate myself mostly on lightness, really light car, and I will try to make it as optimized as possible without like a lot of drag and everything. Okay, let's put that video on. If I click here, you guys should be able to see now the game itself. I will add, I think it's a window capture, yeah? Yeah, it's window capture. Okay. So here, we're gonna watch the Group B video by Slap Shoes. I already watched it. I know this video pretty well.
Tired of playing alone? Bring someone into your
It's
world
not gonna
with
be the
Hako AI.
most
Every match becomes a shared experience.
When auto
detailed
racing first
video.
began in the
It's not the most detailed video. I will correct some things here and there probably if I catch the things that are like too correct. But most of the video is pretty darn good if I'm honest. It's a pretty good video overall.
1890s, it was extremely simple. Get a bunch of cars and drivers together and have them race from one town to another. First one there wins. In a time before purpose-built racetracks or electronic timing and scoring existed, this was the easiest way to put on a race and have an undisputed winner. However, these events were held on public roads, and thus you couldn't sell tickets and anyone could just waltz up and watch a race for free, or at least a segment of it. People wanted to watch the entire race and were willing to pay to make that happen, so around the turn of the 20th century, auto racing migrated onto horse racing tracks, as there were already hundreds of them dotted across Europe and North America. Fans could watch the entire race, get food and drinks, and even bet on the outcome. And the best part was, all the infrastructure was already built. In the span of less than 10 years, motorsports went from almost unrecognizable to looking exactly like a modern racing event today. But no matter how much the sport of auto racing changes or how much different it looks as the decades drag on, some people are always going to want to do things the old way. Even to this day, there are still racing divisions that host races on those same horse tracks from the 1900s. Some people who insist on racing in the old styles are just in it for the nostalgia. Others are purists and say that's the only real form of racing. But most see it as an old art form that deserves to be preserved and continued at all costs. Thus, some drivers still held on to the point-to-point style of racing that had started it all. In 1911, the Rallye of Monte Carlo was held in Monaco, and the name stuck. That style of racing forever thereafter was known as rally racing. Eventually, instead of one-day point-to-point races, the long rallies were broken up into segments run across multiple days. That way fans could watch more racing and get more bang for their buck. After World War II, motor racing saw an insane boom in popularity all over the world. By 1950, Formula One had begun competition, and several rally series had popped up. But in 1973, the FIA, the sanctioning body for F1, threw their hat into the rally ring and created the World Rally Championship, or WRC. Immediately they saw success as they gained the rights to the Rally of Monte Carlo and many other major rally races all over Europe, be it in the paved streets of Monaco, the snows of Finland, or the mud of Sicily. The WRC did it all and had one of the most challenging schedules on the planet. Soon, rally racing was becoming more popular than Formula One, because unlike in that series, all the cars in the WRC were stock cars anybody could buy straight from the dealer's lot. The WRC had a rule that in order to race a car in their series, a manufacturer had to produce at least 5,000 units for commercial and private sales. This rule made the Lancia Stratos one of the most recognizable race cars ever made, and it won the WRC's championship top division 3 years in a row, from 1974 through 1976. Even in America and other places where the WRC didn't race yet, people knew about the Stratos. Kids had posters of it on their walls. Those lines are unmistakable. Just look at that thing. However, by the time the early 80s rolled around, there was a problem with the WRC. The numbers of divisions or groups they ran were too specialized and too restricted for the automakers to justify manufacturing 5,000 units necessary to meet the WRC's regulations. Also, the 6 groups they had hamstrung the teams with tons of rules in the way. So in 1982, the head of the FIA, Jean Balestre, made a radical move. He condensed down the number of groups from 6 to 3. 2 stock divisions would remain, but the third was something entirely new. Usually when a sanctioning body is trying to win over teams and factories, they introduce new rules to cap costs and keep them happy. But this time, the FIA would take away the rules and say anything goes. So long as the car has 4 wheels and the engine breathes air, you can run it. For the 1982 season, the FIA and the WRC effectively threw the rulebook out of the window and said, let her rip. Group B, as it came to be known, was pretty much the Wild West of auto racing, only really matched by the insane northeastern supermodified scene back in the United States. Instead of 5,000 units needing to be produced, it was lowered down to 200, and if you changed something on your car from one year to the next, you only needed to make 20 more. A laughably low limit. There were no restrictions on horsepower, turbo, and superchargers were given the go-ahead, and you could run any engine.
The restrictions in Group B were just none. I compared to other auto racing, there was not a lot of restriction back then. Like restrictions were more of a subjection, yeah, subjection. Like racing wasn't as like safe as today, though it was fucking crazy. It was a golden era back then. Like most of the racing classes were awesome, and Group B just got crazy. It was just like, okay, let's throw the book out and let you guys do whatever the fuck you want.
You wanted. And even the dimensions of the cars were not mandated, meaning that you could watch a rear-engine Porsche 959 compete directly against a front-engine Soviet-built Lada. Yeah, the commie car. Group B was completely insane, and I love it. And the manufacturers put their money where their mouth was by putting forth some of the most monstrous cars to ever grace a race course. They started throwing money at their Group B programs and let their engineers go hog wild. Lancia were here to take their crown back yet again with their Rallye 037, the spiritual successor to the Stratos. It had a 2-liter rear-mounted 4-cylinder engine that produced 265 horsepower. That doesn't sound like much, but with one of the few rules being a 960 kilogram minimum vehicle weight, about 2,100 pounds, that meant the 037 could absolutely fly through the streets. Lancia would claim the manufacturer's title in 1983, and they had yet another classic car to their name. The 037 in the Martini colors would become as iconic as any race car could ever hope to be. But their main rival in the 1980s was unquestionably Audi and their Quattro series of cars. The fact that the word Quattro rung a bell for you tells you how influential this series was in its heyday.
So Koshiya, to my research, is kind of like it kind of translates to kill him. But like it, that's what I don't like about translation on Google. If you research a word like in English to Japanese, it's gonna give you something. If you put that same word in Japanese and put it back into translation towards English, it's gonna give you something else. So it's always not accurate.
Audi had won the title in 1982 with a nifty idea: four-wheel drive. The car was a front-engine design and looked fairly normal.
Honey, I brought back enough
By the way,
tomatoes
we're
to last
going
us a whole
mid-engine.
month.
Good boy. Now sign this divorce paper.
This is
My
a
daughter
rally
is remarrying
car.
someone who doesn't smell like
I
dirt.
made
I
it a
spent all
little
my
while
savings
ago.
on this
It's
spaceship.
a full
How could you
carbon
treat me like this?
fiber,
I will
like
build a powerful
trophy
fleet and make
type
all of you my
car.
servants.
It's kind of crazy.
Start with a modest, small starship.
Okay,
Wander the
we want
endless
a
interstellar ruins.
pretty
Salvage wreckage to
small
upgrade
car,
core modules
not
and strengthen
too
hull
small.
armor. Equip ecological circulation systems
We're gonna
to
go
sustain deep space survival.
in body
Rise from
body
nothing.
type.
Build your
We're
cosmic
gonna
fleet.
take
Sail
off
across
the
starry
wagon.
sky and
No
conquer
SUV,
the entire
no
galaxy.
pickup, no MPV, and no vans. Wheelbase.
I dare you to
We're
let me
gonna
build
put
you a completely
a
free
minimum
e-commerce store
of 1.9
preloaded with 20 handpicked
and
products that
a
are trending all over the
maximum
world,
of
basically
2.
validated by AI from a trending product database
Oh,
from one of the top vendors on the planet.
who
And the
are
reason that we
you?
can do this completely free for you
I
is
really like
because
this body.
Shopify is paying me to do it.
I'm gonna
You've
check
probably
other
seen me
bodies
before,
for sure
because for the last
because
year,
there's a bunch.
Shopify has
But
loved
this one
the AI-paired software that
got
we
some.
built so much that they've been paying
I don't
me to
know.
build people
It
just like
just
you,
talks
complete
to me.
beginners, a completely free store. Now, again, it's free for you, right? Shopify is paying me a commission to do it.
This is
And if you
beautiful.
don't keep
I
your
might
store for
make
more
a
than
car out of it,
90 days, I don't even get paid.
but not
But
now.
your store is still free, right? And after 90 days, it's still your store. I don't own a percentage of the store.
This
I
I
don't
really like.
control the
It
store. It's
has a
yours.
lot
You can
of the
delete products
Stratos
from it,
vibe
add new products
to
to
it.
it, all that good stuff. It's your store, okay? Not only that, I'm going to give you my courses
Oh,
completely.
yeah, you shut
But
up.
it had a turbocharged inline
Thank you.
5-cylinder motor, and the four-wheel drive meant that all four wheels could put down the
Just so
340
you
horsepower
guys,
it produced.
oh my
It was
God, this is
significantly over the minimum weight, being just
literally
a touch under
Stratos.
2,500 pounds.
This
But
is
that much power
literally
combined with a
Stratos.
way to actually get it on the ground effectively
Louis
meant that
Strat-
Lancia had
this- Louis
serious
start with
competition.
Stratos
Four-wheel
body.
drive for Rallye was largely seen as a
Or
novelty
we
before
go
Group
with
B,
this
as it was just too unreliable and broke easily.
modernized
But
one.
Audi had apparently found the secret sauce and changed the game forever.
I really like
They
the
also started an
modernized
arms
one,
race
but
by constantly updating the
that-
Quattro. They started off with the
that's
Quattro A1
Stratos.
in 1983, but next they debuted the Sport Quattro
Body
S1.
is just
This was a big step up in two ways.
so
First, it produced
goddamn
100 more
crisp.
horsepower than the A1,
It's
despite using
2.2.
basically the same engine layout. And second, it really
The
delved
other
deep into
one
the ever-evolving world of
is
aerodynamics. Aero had been something that race
a
teams all over the world had
2.3,
been
so it's
fiddling
a
with since the
little
1950s,
bigger.
but cars at the time simply did not go fast enough to make it worth spending that kind of money on R&D. But Group B pushed the envelope
really
so
do
much in the
this?
power department that aero was now a real concern,
Let's check if
and the
this
cars
one
began looking
works.
less like street cars and more like rocket ships. Peugeot was also in the thick of it
We
with
go
their
with a
offering, the 205 T16. It had an
254.
inline-4 turbocharged engine that made in excess of 500
Let's see.
horsepower and had aero scoops jutting out of every corner of the car. And despite it having that big front engine compartment, that's not actually where the engine is. It's in the middle for better weight distribution, because this is Group B and you can just do that sort of thing. It won the manufacturer's title in 1985 and 1986 with Timo Salonen at the helm. Now's where we get to talk about the absolute mad lads and lasses that drove these things, because they were every bit as weird as their cars.
2630.
Timo Salonen was a Finnish driver
I
who,
don't
despite
have
his
it.
appearance making him look like a tax
Okay.
accountant, was the
Let's
best
just
driver in
check
Group
real
B's
quick if
history,
that,
winning more events than
Stratos
anyone
body
else. He was a laid-back
got
man who never lost his cool and insisted
one.
on driving the car with
It's
just
250.
one hand
Okay,
and the
well,
other one being permanently
we
left
won't
on the
take that
shifter.
bike
Stig
just for that.
Blomqvist took up driving duties for Audi and tamed their Quattro series, being
I
instrumental
want
to their
something
title in
closer
1984. Walter
to
Roll won the
the
title for
real
Lancia in 1983,
FIA,
and of course we have to mention the
rolling.
queen of the hill,
Let's
Michelle
go
Mouton.
with-
She is arguably the greatest female race
I
car
don't
driver
want it
that has
too big.
ever lived. She set the Pikes
Michelle
Peak hill
Mouton
climb record in
is
1985,
actually
won the 24
amazing.
Hours of Le Mans, and to this day she is the
Crazy,
only woman
crazy
to have ever
driver.
won a WRC event. And there you have it, a recipe for success. The
I'm going
fastest cars
between-
ever built for rally racing mixed with
Let's
the
do it
best drivers in the world.
2.35.
The FIA wanted to give the WRC a shot in the arm, and they had done it. By 1984, the WRC was more
Output
popular
finale
than Formula
star
1,
looks
and fans
down.
flocked to these events in the
It won't
hundreds
be
of
a
thousands.
decapitable,
Sometimes as many as
convertible.
400,000
I promise
people
you
would
guys
buy
this.
tickets to see these cars and drivers in action. There were very few, if any,
body
crowd
type.
control measures in place for Group B events, and those
We
400,000
got it.
people got to go somewhere. So people would crowd the racing lines and even
And
stand on the
we're
track
gonna go
itself, just
with
waiting to get the perfect
Monaco.
vantage point to see these race cars do their thing.
Partial
Some of these
Monaco
videos are
might
just
be good.
jaw-dropping to watch. It's like the automotive
And
equivalent of the
we're
running
gonna
of the
take,
bulls. I don't
like,
even know how the
HS
drivers or their
steel.
co-drivers managed to see the
Won't
road
be
ahead of
like
them.
blue
Mechanics and crew
aluminum. I
reported
want
that
it to
after
be
a segment had been
somewhat
completed,
safe.
they would find bits of clothing and hair
How is
stuck in the
blue
grill and
aluminum
wings of their cars, body
as
panels splattered with blood, and even fingers wedged into the air
safe
ducts. Group B
as
was
like
absolute
HS, yeah,
mania.
steel.
The coolest race cars, the best drivers, the most
Only
rabid
that
fans on
steel
earth. Everything
is-
had worked out for the WRC and the FIA beyond their wildest imaginations. What could possibly go wrong?
Go blue then. I won't go carbon fiber, that's for sure. Carbon fiber, I don't want. I don't want.
By 1985, these cars were so fast and there were so few rules in place for safety that even the drivers were starting to voice concerns. Another rule in Group B, or really lack thereof, was that cars could be made of any material, including aluminum. Those Audis and Lancias that weighed scarcely more than a metric ton were able to do so because of their aluminum frames and roll cages. And the thing about aluminum, it likes to bend. If you've ever been on a
Yeah, and that's basically what we're doing here. Glued aluminum chests. Without a roll cage, too. These one, they had a roll cage that was practically useless because it was in aluminum. So it would just fuck itself up.
commercial flight and got a window seat above the wings, you know how
I'm
much
gonna go
aluminum can
double
flex
with
during
one
flight.
everywhere.
That's a good thing for a plane,
With a good
but not so
quality.
much for a car. Rescue workers were also not numerous enough to do anything in case a car
Here.
went off the track.
This
It could
is the
take
fun
half an
part.
hour for them to show up on the scene, and their
I want the
communications were
two-door.
also horrendously lacking. Oftentimes, the only way they found out that a driver had wrecked was when another driver drove past, finished their segment, got out of the car, and reported the smoke they had seen to an official. By the time medics and firefighters arrived, it was often far too late. Not to mention the hundreds of thousands of spectators crowding the road made it hard to get to the scene even if their communication was better. On May 2nd, 1985, at the Corsica Rally, a Lancia 037, piloted by Attilo Bottega, went off and slammed into a tree. His co-driver was okay, but when medics arrived 20 minutes later, they found the co-driver Mauricio limping out of the woods and Bottega dead still inside of the car. The drivers petitioned the FIA to do something, but they determined that at the speed the car was going, nothing would have prevented Attilo's death. It was more or less hand-waved away as a freak accident. Racing is inherently dangerous, that's true, but the FIA's investigation left drivers with little peace of mind. But later in the year during the Argentinian rally, Ari Vatanen crashed in a scary rollover. He broke both legs and a few ribs, one of which punctured his lung. He and his co-driver survived, but they both vowed to never race in Group B again. The cars were becoming so fast with so much power that one driver said the cars moved faster than he could react. It was more or less driving on instinct, right on the razor's edge of what was humanly possible. So going into 1986, the FIA finally budged and outlawed aluminum roll cages and set limits on aero devices like wings and spoilers, in hopes of slowing the cars down. But everything else remained the same, no limits on power and no crowd control measures, because coming in 1987 was the new Group S division, Group B's replacement. Here there would be virtually no rules. Manufacturers only needed to make 10 road cars to reach the production limit, and the automakers were already developing their new round of supercars. In March 1986, the Portugal Rally was held, and the country had already become a hotbed for gearheads of all stripes, and now Group B would get their shot at glory in the country. People flooded the streets, and the first incident of the rally occurred when a cameraman was basically pushed into the line of fire, and Timo Salonen damn near ripped the man's hand off with his car and completely destroyed the $3,000 camera. The next accident would not be so lax. Joaquim Santos, a native Portuguese driver, started off in his Ford RS200. Wanting to see the hometown guy rip through the streets, people crowded more and more onto the course. At one point, a spectator jumped out onto the track and Santos swerved to miss him. He then overcorrected and the car slid broadside into a group of people. His co-driver Miguel Oliveira said that in Group B the cars were so fast that he just had to look at his notes and feel the track turn for turn. But in this instance, he suddenly felt thuds and bumps as the car careened into the crowd. 32 people were injured and 3 people died, including a mother and her 11-year-old son. In a disgusting move, the FIA continued the race and did not tell the other drivers what had happened. When the drivers completed the segment and got told what happened, they banded together and vowed to go on strike to stop the competition. But the FIA kept things going, and Jean Balestre said he would punish any driver or manufacturer that walked out. At the Corsica Rally just 2 months later in May, Henry Tovinen and his co-driver Sergio Cresto putting on the race of their lives, winning stages left and right. But on the second day of competition, their Lancia went off at a point where there was no guardrail and it flew off of a steep hill. The fuel tank immediately ruptured and a ball of fire erupted from the crash site. Drivers completing the segment reported to officials that they'd seen black smoke on one of the turns, and by the time rescue personnel got to Henry and Sergio, there was nothing left of the wreck except a charred frame. Now in action was borderline criminal. And after international pressure from drivers, manufacturers, and governments, Group B was immediately banned from competition and never got to see the light of day again. And its successor, Group S, was scrapped entirely.
Well, let's go directly with the trolley for now.
Not your dentist,
I will patch this up later. I will make another engine. I just want to concentrate on the car for now.
Story. Because your teeth are made from a super cool mineral called hydroxyapatite. And if you give your teeth...
Super cool mineral, brother. You're talking...
After Group B's disbanding, Group A, the more strictly stock division, picked up the banner and marched forward. But this time with the restrictions and safeguards the drivers of the 80s had wanted. Now there were crowd limits, they had to be kept further back in most areas, and rescue personnel were more numerous with helicopters in the air and radio communications opened up between them. Now if a driver went off, their officials would know about it immediately and be able to send help within a few minutes rather than half an hour. Even still, rally racing remained popular all over the world. The Subaru Impreza WRX and the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo became classic cars, and their computerized traction control systems and driver assist are commonplace on road cars today of all makes and models. The features you take for granted in your personal car and the safety precautions in place at every racetrack today were earned out there on the ice, snow, gravel, and dirt stretching from Portugal to Corsica, from Finland to Argentina. People had to pay a high price for those things. And if there's any silver lining to Group B and rally racing as a whole, it was that they have saved countless lives through these technological advancements. The WRC is still competing today, and the envelope is still being pushed, but with the proper safety measures in place to make sure we don't repeat the same mistakes. And even with all the new rules set up, and we're willing to pay to make that.
It was really short. I was thinking I was on another video, I think. Let's watch this. It's already been 8 years. Wait a second. Wait. 8 years. It's been 2017 is 8 years ago. Bro, I somehow feel old. I'm 23 and I feel old as fuck with this information.
Group B, the scariest thing to happen in the woods since ghosts were invented. It was too beautiful and dangerous to exist in this world, just like Heath Ledger. Group B, a world rally class whose 4-year history would be cemented in the mind and myths of race fans for years. At its peak, thousands lined the streets to bear witness to the speed and fury of the cars and their engines that exploded in a beautiful cacophony of flat fours, V6s, and inline 5s. With nearly no regulations placed on the cars, fearless drivers thrived as they hurtled through actual streets of actual towns all over the world. On snow, mud, and asphalt, the Group B drivers defied belief and cheated death. How did Group B come about? How did it end? Grab your helmet and tighten up your harnesses, baby, because we're going for a ride. This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on Group B. This episode of Up to Speed is brought to you by Movement Watches. I wear mine every day, and I've already been married 9 times.
What? I miss James and donuts.
Before Group B, the WRC was pretty cool.
Like
a bunch of
OG
cars
donuts
racing around, doing the best they could do to squeeze performance out of production cars. A lot of well-loved cars and game-changing technology came out of WRC Group A. The legendary 5-cylinder Audi Quattro being just one of those. But Group A had a ton of restrictions on power, size, technology, cost, and the base model for a Group A auto had to be mass-produced with at least 5,000 units a year and had to have 4 seats. In contrast, Group B had few restrictions on technology or design and only required that the weight was kept as low as possible. High-tech materials were permitted, and there were no restrictions on boost. And for homologation requirements, manufacturers only needed to produce 200 cars. I mean, I made 200 cars last week. Nothing. Plus, they left a special evolution clause that meant year to year, if an update was made to a model, only 20 cars needed to reflect the change. In Group A, you need to manufacture a fresh 5000. That's also what they used to call me in high school, fresh 5000. The only restrictions in Group B were the cabin had to fit 2 seats, it could not be open roof, a minimum weight calculated by engine displacement, maximum tire width calculated by engine displacement. That's it. Those are all the rules. It took about a season for manufacturers to realize the limitless performance potential of the group. In its first year, Audi did little to change the Quattro from its Group 4 setup, but its still innovative drivetrain was advanced enough to carry Hannu Mikkola to the driver's title in 1983.
A couple years ago,
however, made more bold improvements to their rear drive 037 in shape, weight, and power, and the car was consistent enough to take the manufacturer's title that year. After its inaugural season, Group B's low homologation requirements attracted more manufacturers and more experimentation. Opel replaced their production device with the Group B Manta 400, and Toyota built a new car based on their Celica. Like the Lancia 037, both cars were rear-wheel drive. They were powerful and they could dominate on asphalt, but they were still falling falling short when the terrain became less stable. And this was the beauty of Group B Rally. The restrictions were so few that manufacturers were free to explore the best combination of power and drivetrain that would work over a myriad of different surfaces. While Opel, Audi, and Toyota were making tweaks to their existing cars, other teams realized the low homologation requirements would allow them to start with a clean slate. Peugeot engineer Jean Dot studied the restrictions, looked to Audi's success, and came up with a shorter four-wheel drive car with more rear-biased weight distribution. The Peugeot 205 T16 was homologated midway through 1984, featuring a mid-mounted 1.8-liter turbocharged engine, 350 horsepower, and four-wheel drive. It was immediately competitive and became dominant from August onward. The Evolution nudged 400 horsepower. It would have won its first race, but driver Ari Vatanen crashed just before finishing. He was leading the pack by a lot. And speaking of crashes, these races and cars were getting so gnarly that crashes began happening more and more frequently. Vatanen led a ton of races for Peugeot, but seldom won because he had a consistent record of crashing just before winning. Sounds like my love life. Part of the thrill of watching the races was the excitement of knowing that drivers were towing the line between triumph and calamity. Michelle Mouton, who Niki Lauda described as Superwoman, was notorious for her
Niki Lauda.
and she was no stranger to gnarly
Niki
exits
Lauda
either. In her first
fucking
Group B
describing
race,
someone
she
as
slid through a patch of
Superwoman
ice and crashed at over 100 miles an
kinda
hour.
dope.
Drivers were going so fast through such tight turns that their skills were being tested like never before. Bjorn Waldegaard looks back at the danger less romantically. He's since said the cars were so quick, your brain could not react in time. It was just too much. That sounds nuts. Listen, these cars were using Kevlar doors to save on weight. They were using massively overpowered engines and employing cutting-edge suspension out of necessity. Body kits were radical amalgams of aero innovations and induction channels or cooling vents. Bigger engines meant wider wheelbase and tires, but a heavier minimum weight. As small engine power output improved, you'd have the lightest cars in the circuit pumping out over 400 horsepower. The technological achievements of Group B were at once a recipe for glory and all-out disaster. And guys, if you're getting upset because I keep using the word gnarly, after races, when they worked on the cars, mechanics would find things like severed fingers in the cars. Teams had therapists and psychologists on retainer because just working on Group B cars was that traumatic. Those who won or placed in stages were exalted, but just finishing a race alive was enough to cement your status as an elite rally driver. By the end of 1985, in addition to ravenous Group B attendance and accomplished heroic drivers, there was an outright cornucopia of competing cars, all testing theories about the right mix of balance, power, weight, and wheels. Lancia replaced their outclassed 037 with the Delta S4, which featured both a turbocharger and a supercharger. Ford had returned after several years away with the Ford RS200, which made a purported 550 horsepower at all four wheels. Citroën developed and entered the BX4TC, which was a cumbersome little beast. Rover created the distinctive Metro 6R4, which featured almost comical boxy bodywork and a large spoiler mounted on the front of the car. And Audi's new Sport Quattro S1 boasted over 600 horsepower and had a freaking snowplow for the front end. We are now in uncharted territory, and the stage is set to find out the world's best rally car and the world's best driver. And one young Finnish driver, Henri Koivunen, after years of unfulfilled potential, was emerging as a gifted wunderkind for whom Group B seemed to be the perfect format. Where more mature drivers were all too aware of the dangers, Henry in his mid-20s pushed as hard as he could. Rally legend Walter Rawls said Henry was a little bit crazy.
But the
he was
C8
fast
Corvette,
and always getting
I hate
faster, like someone in a
the look of it.
Henry reached the
I
point
hate
where
it.
it was
I
only
feel
a
like the
question of
lines
time
don't
before
follow
something went
themselves,
badly
like they're
wrong.
not
And in early
like each other.
1986, something did go
They're-
badly wrong.
it's-
On the
it's
Lagoa
just
Azul
not
stage of the Portuguese rally near Sintra,
cool.
Portuguese national champion Joaquim Santos crested a rise, turning
The
to his
fact
right
that
to
it's
avoid a small group of
mid-engine is
spectators.
cool,
This caused
but
him
the
to lose
rest,
control of the
I hate it.
RS200. The car veered to the right and slid off the road into the spectators. 31
I'm gonna
people were injured
reduce
and 3
as
were
much
killed.
as
All the top
possible the
teams
rear
immediately
length.
pulled out of the rally, and Group B was
what
placed
else?
in jeopardy. This crash came a year after
Taking
Lancia
too much
driver
space of
Attilio
the engine.
Bettega Austria crashed and died in his 037. His co-driver was uninjured, so the fatality was largely blamed on the unforgiving Corsican scenery and bad luck. But with such a massive injury toll and the death of 3 spectators, the Lago Azul accident was making it apparent that Group B may be too dangerous to exist. The promising driver Toivonen and his co-driver Sergio Cresto sat at the start of the Tour de Corsa waiting for the signal. When they launched in the turbo and supercharged Lancia, all 4 wheels gripped at the pavement to send them hurtling past hundreds of spectators who lined the streets. But just 7 kilometers into the stage, their S4 blew off the unguarded edge of the tight left turn and plunged down a steep wooden hillside. The fuel tanks ruptured and the car became a fireball on impact. When crews arrived nearly 30 minutes later, the Inferno had left nothing of the Lancia but a charred tangle of tubing. Toivonen and Cresto's death, combined with the Portugal tragedy, forced the FIA to act. Group B cars were immediately banned in 1987. Group B was done. It was an amazing time in automotive ingenuity and ultimately proved too dangerous to exist. Could it happen today with modern technology and safety? Honestly, probably not. There is a certain beauty in those things that scare us. The raw power and magnificence of a waterfall as you stand at the base, the exhilaration atop a cliff as you stare down to the hard earth stories below. This is the allure of Group B. It was an intersection of a carrying aspiration and technology and racing that can never be duplicated. And it's become all the more mythic for its short existence. This episode of Up to Speed was brought to you by Movement Watches. Movement was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. Their goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. With over 1 million watches sold to customers in over 160
we're gonna
countries,
take a 6-speed.
Movement has solidified itself
Yes,
as the world's
this
fastest
is
growing watch
heavy
company.
as
It's like
fuck.
the Volkswagen GTI
I
of
will
watches.
tell you,
Simple,
that's a
cool
heavy
looking,
fucking
and functional.
transmission.
So go to
If you look at
mvmt.com/donutmedia
the
or just
amount of
click the link
gears,
in the
what it
description
does to
below.
the weight,
Use promo code
it's crazy.
donutmedia, and you will receive $15 off of any of their
You
sweet watches or
do
sunglasses.
lose
Did I
a
mention free
lot,
shipping and free returns? They got boy stuff. They got girls
of
stuff.
likeness.
They got stuff for dads. The
But
watches start at $95.
I
The
don't care.
Sunnies start at $70.
For
You can
this,
get them polarized. Just like
we
one of them
need
giant white
a
bears from the
lot
North Pole. This is everything you need to
of,
know to get up to speed on Group B. This one
gears.
was a little bit serious.
It will
not a lot of
always
jokes.
be
It's
better
pretty much
to have a
about
lot
people
of
dying.
gears
How many
in
times have
a
you
rally
watched
car,
those Group B videos on the internet?
because you
It's
need
like,
basically the
send me an
way
order for
a
Lamborghini,
rally
and as
transmission
always, like,
is
comment,
used
subscribe,
is like when a transmission in general is optimizing the power, like, you know, the power graph. This you're trying to optimize it. So on this fuck, I'm having a blank here on the name of the graph. Basically, in French it's called plage of régime. Plage de régime. In English, I don't know how we would call it. Basically, it's just the fact that from your idle point here and your top RPM, what your graph looks like, and your gears are to optimize this part, so you can actually use the most power, like all the power that you have on your car. So yeah, we're gonna take Clutch Race LSD, just because it's what makes the most sense. We're gonna put 53% of the power in the rear. This car looks pretty small, but I really like that shape. Now we're gonna go on Radio Race Rally directly. What we want wheel-wise is something light, but not carbon fiber. If we take carbon fiber, it's just gonna be too light. I think we're gonna go with forged, honestly. We're gonna go with forged. I feel like forged is a pretty good option because we need a little amount of weight for that bottom end. We gotta reduce, like lower the center of gravity as much as we can. I will change the engine for a boxer engine, by the way. Something that will lower quite a lot the the center of gravity, just because it sits way lower. As you can see here, we have a twin charged engine for now. It's a 4-cylinder, if I remember correctly. It's an okay engine. It's not made for this car. It's made for another rally car I made. We're gonna go directly with raise diffuser. Actually, raise diffuser is pretty logical for this. We're gonna keep the 2 seats, but we're gonna go with the reduced version. These are smaller seats, so lighter. And we're gonna go with the race interior, if I remember correctly, is the lightest. Yeah, race interior is the lightest. No entertainment, because why the fuck would you need entertainment in a rally car? And this is gonna be really freaking hard for me, but manual rack and pinion. Yep. What the fuck am I seeing? A wheelbarrow with an engine? Let's just this is engine porn. That whining thing. .205 is pretty dope car. This is my favorite, RS200. Hell yeah. There's the Lancia. The MJ, I forgot MJ made fucking rally cars. We're gonna put an ESC simply because I want to be able to deactivate it. That's the only reason. Because if I put none, it actually makes me unable to do it. Because every car on BeamNg for some reason, not every car, but every automation car have an ESC for some reason. Don't ask me why. I don't fucking know. It's pretty nice. We're gonna go with the best. Like the best of the best. Active sport with... Which one says it's more comfortable? This one? We are not searching for comfort, but I need to check comfort just to see what the car can do basically. So this is what we're working with. Car looks pretty dope. Let's do a little body work on. Okay, we're done with this. Let's... Oh, that's kind of funny. I'm kind of curious about this. I
This
kind
is
of
the
want to
fake
watch
ad you
this.
see everywhere, right? But this is Ebony, a real game. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't they exactly the same? No, because Ebony is the real number gate runner game. Gotta try it, huh? Nobody ever believes me, but this really is just like the ads in real.
If I showed you a car, you'd probably know
Yeah,
what
that's
brand it belongs
pretty easy.
to. And I
That's
mean, like,
pretty easy.
almost
Even the
any
non-car
car. For
people
example,
know.
if I show most of you this car, you'll know it's a Ford GT.
Yeah.
Some of you probably didn't know that, but you get my point.
Pretty
Now, imagine
recent
if you
one,
weren't into
too.
cars at all. What would you think it is? My mom said, quote, "It looks like a Ferrari. Is it a Lamborghini? The lines are too hard for a Ferrari." And I mean, good thought process, but that was wrong. For most people, it makes sense that it's a big name performance manufacturer, like the aforementioned Ferrari or Lamborghini. Ford wouldn't even cross their mind. And fair enough, because you're telling me the same guys who built the Pinto made this? Okay,
Yep.
sure, pal. That gets us into the topic of this video. How do people who aren't into
That's
cars
kinda
perceive
funny.
said cars? So I conducted a very
Said
scientific
like that,
experiment called
the-
showing my mom different
he
cars
made
on an
the
iPad
same
and making
creator
fun of
as
her answers,
Pinto
even
made
though I
the
wasn't
fucking
expecting her to get them right because she's not a
Ford
car
GT.
enthusiast.
Though
All in
it's not
order
the
to
same
see how
designer.
somebody who isn't into cars thinks, I guess, about car. I don't know, like sees car. I think you get the point. Like for the Ferrari
Okay.
SF90,
Right
which
now,
my
it
mom
looks
first correctly
stupid.
guessed is a Ferrari, but then took a complete 180 and asked, "Actually, is that a Dodge Viper?" No, it's not a Dodge Viper, Mom.
Holy
That's not a great
shit.
guess. This one actually surprised me though, because I know that people who aren't into cars associate the color red to Ferrari almost exclusively, so I don't know why she wasn't 100% sure it was a Ferrari just based off of it being a red supercar, but she did guess Ferrari first, so it's not completely out of the ordinary. And by the way, I did remove the logo on all the cars I showed her, but I forgot to remove the logo on the wheels for most of them, which you'll see, but don't worry because she never really looked at the wheels and that didn't affect her answer. A recognizable brand color doesn't mean the brand is always identifiable to someone who isn't into cars though, as seen with the Aston Martin Valkyrie. For you and me, I mean, you probably just know the Valk is an Aston, but the color helps a lot. It's common on a lot of
Yeah.
British cars because it's like British colored, but I'd say it's
It's
most
British.
popular on Aston Martin.
It's
For
British
my mom,
color.
it didn't help because her best guess was a McLaren. Even after my dad and I pointed out the shape of the front that the neon green is outlining, she still didn't know it was an Aston Martin. But when I showed her a Vantage with a much more obvious Aston Martin grille shape, she knew what it was. To me, this shows that a more subtle grille shape to keep a brand's identity, even with specific design constraints, is harder for a non-car person to notice than someone who enjoys looking at moving pieces of metal in their free time. And I mean, it
Yeah,
makes
I
sense
love-
because if you
I
ask
love
a
them moving
person who's
pieces
not
of
into
metal,
cars
bro.
what the shape of an Aston Martin grille is, they might not even know off the top of their head, even if they can recognize it
think,
when
like,
they
the
see it. Same thing
DFA
kind of goes for the two BMWs I showed
might
her. The
look
first one was an
really
M3,
freaking
specifically a
cool
G80,
on
which
this car.
obviously has a very noticeable BMW kidney grille. She got that one like right away, and she specifically noted that it was because of the grille. But then I brought up the 7 Series, and the one I showed her has the black
Royce.
front around the grille that kind of hides the kidney shape. Without that, she didn't know it was a BMW. And I mean, the
Wait,
kidney grille is
that
probably
was a
the main
BM?
brand identifier
That
for
wait,
BMW, so it
wait.
makes- and the one
Actually,
showed-
I got that wrong. Oh yeah, okay, okay. I see that kidney grill. Though that shit looks like a Royce. Sorry, but like that square ass, that looks like a fucking Royce.
her has the black front around the grille that kind of hides the kidney
feel
shape.
dumb now.
Without that, she didn't know it was a BMW. And I mean, the kidney grille is probably the main brand identifier for BMW, so it makes sense that someone who isn't too familiar would fall short without it. The next car I showed her was the subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the video mobile. Oh, that's not a car. That's just what you should do if you want. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video is what I meant. Thanks if you choose to do that, and if you don't, you know, I will find you. Just
It depends
kidding,
on
I
the
won't.
video, bro. Don't
Anyways,
say
all
that
the
in the
cars I've
beginning
mentioned
of the
so
video,
far are pretty modern,
and
so I wonder what happens when I show
that's
my
one
mom some
third.
logo-less
Don't say
cars
that
that
yet.
aren't modern. Now, the age of the car making it more
That's a
recognizable or not
Viper.
won't apply the same to everyone, but neither will anything else in the
That's
world
some
ever, so I don't
Viper
think it
ass
matters, and
headlight.
it'll give an interesting insight regardless. The first classic I showed her was the Lamborghini Miura. Oh, okay, I didn't show her that. Looks like I forgot to. Damn, that one was gonna be interesting, because, like, it doesn't have the Lamborghini wedge shape, so I don't know if she would get it. Anyways, the first real one I showed
Yeah,
her
the
was the
Miura
Peel Trident,
is-
and you guess
is
Fiat. I don't
something.
know what I expected. She's never heard of Peel, so, like, checkmate, mom. It's not a Fiat. The second one was the RS2, which she actually clocked immediately. No second guessing, no
Yeah,
debating. She
shit.
knew it was an Audi. Don't know what else to say about that.
No
Good
shit.
job, mom. Keep it up. That didn't last long, because when I showed her the Porsche 918, even though the first thing she said was that the front looks like a Porsche, when I asked if that was her final answer, she specifically said no, and then proceeded to not think of any other answers until I finally told her that she would have been right. And admittedly, a mid-engine hypercar Porsche looks pretty different
this
from
one
the ones
is
you're used to seeing,
pretty
so it makes
rare,
sense that someone who's
though.
not super into
It's not
cars
one
might
that
not
you
get that,
see
but she was
often.
close, and I think that's about what I would expect. The other two cars in the Holy Trinity went better than that. For the LaFerrari, she was pretty confident with Ferrari, probably because it's red, I guess. I don't
Probably
know.
'cause
Everybody
it
knows
looks
Ferrari.
like a
For the
fucking
P1, she was pretty
Ferrari.
confident with McLaren,
That
which surprised
looks
me
like a
because she was also pretty
McLaren.
confident that the Valkyrie was a McLaren, and it low-key wasn't. Unlike the 918, she took a while to come up with an answer for the Jaguar
Yeah.
XJ220. She said she doesn't like the tires,
Yeah,
to which
that-
I responded
that
with
Jag
the
is-
rims, and she was like, no, the tires. And I was like, okay, because I
What?
don't know what that means. You don't like the tires? Anyways,
Don't
probably better
like-
to just ignore that. She also guessed Dodge before Jaguar, which I feel like some of you are gonna, you mean the
What did the tires do to you? What did the tires do to you, Mom?
rims? And she was like, no, the tires. And I was like, okay, because I don't know what that means. You don't like the tires? Anyways, probably better to just ignore that. She also guessed Dodge before Jaguar, which I feel like
Probably,
some of
bro.
you are gonna say is a
Probably.
bad guess, but I actually don't think it's the worst guess in the world. Something about it gives me like older Dodge vibes. Not too old, but I see it. But after that, she guessed correctly. It just took a while. Here's an interesting one. A normal car, as in not like a hypercar or the Pale Trident or something. The catch is just that it's not sold where I live, or more specifically, not sold where my mom lives, who, as we have
It's
decided, is not a
Peugeot
car
or
enthusiast,
something?
so I would assume probably doesn't know it that well. The Skoda Kodiaq, which I'm probably saying wrong. The Skoda,
Yeah,
Skoda
even
Kodiaq.
I
My
don't
mom's
know
probably
Skoda,
seen
bro.
a Skoda before, but not
I never
often
seen a
at all, and I
fucking
doubt she's
Skoda.
ever paid attention to one. Her guess was Jeep, which is a pretty bad guess, actually. It's a pretty bad guess. This looks nothing like a Jeep to me, but fair enough, I guess, or something. My dad said Kia, and my dad wasn't supposed to answer because I told him that would kind of ruin it because he does know cars. But this one's fine because he didn't get that correct either. And I think Kia is a lot better of a guess than Jeep. When I brought up a picture of my car, she got it. I was like, that's actually a picture of my exact car. And she was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, I mean, she
Audi,
got it,
that's-
as in she got it. It was
that's
Audi. She didn't say, hey, that's your car, but it is.
So
Hey,
I'm
that's
writing
your
an essay
car.
on cats.
That's not
Cats
an
and
Audi,
art
that's just
history.
your car, bro.
I'm an art history major, and this final is due on Friday. Same day, I'm going on a road trip with my best friend
I
Gabby.
know that's not
Luckily,
really
I
rally
write with
lights.
Grammarly.
I don't
What
give a
once
shit.
took me hours now takes minutes.
If you're telling me, oh, that's not rally
So I
light,
can
fuck you,
focus
shut up.
on what matters most.
It's my
My
car.
voice. We begin in ancient Egypt, and
I
then the
kinda like this
Renaissance,
girl.
but also Impressionism.
I'm not
and,
trying to
of
have
course, the
any
internet.
identity of a specific car brand right
Easy
now.
peasy.
I'm just having
I
fun
put
with
the
design.
Mercedes SLR McLaren in the line of pictures as well,
Yeah,
expecting
that
it
one
to be a
is
curveball for some reason.
so
But she got that
easy.
one right away as well. In retrospect, I don't know why I thought it would be difficult because it's silver, and I mean it looks like a Mercedes front-engine supercar. So like I don't know why I thought that. My
It's a
bad, guys.
freaking
Okay, I'll just go through the
Mercedes.
rest of them because I'm running out of transitions to make it seem like there's some sort of structure to my video. Which if you got to this point, you probably realize there's not. For the Jaguar Vision Gran Turismo, she said Chevy, Mercedes, and Audi in that order, which are all wrong, but she did correctly call it a concept car, and I
To be honest, never seen this concept car. Wouldn't be able to guess what company made it. Like if I look at it, okay, that front grille don't really. I mean, it looks like a Jaguar a little. Like that shape. Yeah, I see some Jag in there. I think he said it was a Jag,
realize
right?
there's not. For the Jaguar Vision Gran
Yeah.
Turismo, she said Chevy, Mercedes, and
You really
Audi
gotta
in
know,
that
though.
order, which are all wrong, but she did correctly call it a concept car, and I assume that's just because it looks futuristic, so she figured out it's probably
No,
not
it looks
real.
like nothing,
Never said
to be
Jaguar,
honest.
though. She also
I
thought the Alpine
kinda
A110
hate
might
it.
be an Audi, which
That's
I think
beautiful.
is kind of a mid-guess,
The
not
Alpine is
terrible and not
beautiful.
great. But then she was like, does Porsche do those headlights? Which is a better guess,
If I
because I can
say
see
it
how one
correctly,
might
it's
think the A110's headlights are
Alpine,
Porsche-like. Porsche has some
but,
really
bro.
recognizable lights, especially on the 911, so people who aren't into cars probably know them better than other lights, I would assume. But then she
If I
thought the
speak
Pure
French,
Sangre was a Porsche,
I'll say it
and
correctly.
that doesn't have
Right now I'm
Porsche lights
speaking English,
whatsoever.
so I'll say
but I
it
can see that she
bad
would have
like
guessed that because
everybody
the
else.
shape is somewhat similar to Porsche SUVs. If you're not too strict on it, I think you can see what I'm saying. Well, not really the shape, it's more like body lines and stuff. I don't know. I don't think it's the worst guess in the world, is my point. Plus, to someone who only knows Ferrari for their super popular models like the 488 and stuff, the Pure Sangre does does look pretty different, so I wouldn't assume she would guess Ferrari. Porsche, I mean, it's not the worst guess in the world. She thought the Genesis G80 was a Buick, the Pininfarina B95 was a Ferrari, and the Koenigsegg Gemera was, quote, a Lamborghini type thing. For the Yangwang U9, was a Buick, the Pininfarina B95 was a Ferrari, and the Koenigsegg.
Why is it like from this angle? Like if you look at the front, like I really was concentrated on that front tail light, but that front tail light, what the fuck did I just say? That front headlight. If I go here and I just do trust me, okay? I know what I'm doing. Yeah, that cooked me. That cooked my brain. Look at this, the headlight shape there. Look there. It cooked my brain for a second. Don't ask me why, it just cooked my brain.
Gemera was, quote, a Lamborghini type
Though
thing.
with
For the
that
Yangwang U9,
with that windshield, you can know pretty
was
easily
a Buick,
that
the
it's,
Pininfarina B95 was a Ferrari, and the Koenigsegg Gemera was, quote, a Lamborghini type thing. For the Yangwang U9, for the Yangwang U9, Yangwang, I don't know how to say that. For the Yangwang U9, at first she thought it might be a Corvette, then maybe a Ferrari, but she decided it's not a Ferrari because she didn't think it looks very good.
Personally,
for the
you
Yangwang
show me
U9,
this, I'm gonna tell you it's Chinese, and that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know any fucking
For the
company in
Yangwang
China.
U9, first she thought it might be a Corvette, then maybe a Ferrari, but she decided it's not a Ferrari because she didn't think it looks very good. Anyways, I think the big point here is that the cars that you and I know by heart, someone who doesn't know them really doesn't. Well, duh. I mean, like, I could pick up that a new car I've never seen before is a certain brand because of how it looks. Like, the grille or the body lines or whatever, color, that's a big one too, actually. Basically, the design language of a brand becomes pretty obvious if you know a bit about cars or if you just pay attention to them a lot, which I think I do. Obviously, there were a lot of cars she knew, but I think those were kind of outliers, and she just had seen that specific one before or whatever. Like the RS2, I think. Actually, I don't know. The RS2 does look like pretty much like an Audi, distinctly, actually. But anyways, it's the same way that, like, I might know the name of a few books or something, even though I don't read them, if you couldn't tell. I'm actually too cool to read books. Last book I read was for school, which I don't go to anymore because I dropped out to pursue YouTube. Just kidding. I graduated. Also, I don't even remember what book it was. I don't know why I'm talking about books. So moving on. It's kind of interesting to see because if someone showed me the same series of cars that I showed my mom still without the logos and stuff, I'm pretty sure I could name every single model within 2 seconds of being shown it. Maybe less. Except maybe the Kodiak because I had to look up what it was called before showing it to my mom. I knew it was a Skoda though, and the name of the brand is what I was asking her for anyways, not necessarily the model. She didn't actually get any of the models correct anyways. I mean, she didn't guess any of them really either, and I don't think she would have even if I specifically asked what model they were because she didn't get most of the brands or some of the brands. I don't know if it was most or not. She did almost get the Subaru WRX because she got Subaru and then she said it looks like my brother's car, which is a WRX, so I think she could have gotten that if I had asked specifically. Different generation technically, but it looked similar enough for her to recognize it. She also mentioned that the U9 could be a Corvette, which I think is the only time she mentioned a specific model, even though it wasn't correct. I guess that's just because Corvette is such a known name that nobody, including non-car people, really need to say Chevrolet before it. I'd actually assume a lot of non-car people think that Corvette is a brand. Not a lot, I'm assuming some. Anyways, I'm not smart enough to draw any more conclusions from my little experiment, but if you notice any patterns or you just want to say something, go ahead. Read all the comments, unless I don't see one, because I can't read it if I don't see it. Thanks for watching and stuff, and subscribe.
Thanks for being watching.
Cartoons make complex ideas easy to understand
24K
and are incredibly effective at teaching and selling. And I'm not talking about short
called panel gap. for an answer for this, I hate Ferrari. I love their mechanics, like what they do mechanically, but the brand itself, I hate it. Don't ask me ever to go to a meeting of Ferrari or something like that. I hate them. It's a bunch of big-headed pieces of shit that just want to suck each other off. So hell no.
Every brand wants you to recognize their cars from just a glance. That's kind of the entire point of brand design identity.
Not Kia, nor Hyundai. They kind of make like cars that looks like they came out of a cartoon or some shit. Like I actually really dislike Kia and Hyundai. And it's not because they're Korean. I like Korea. I would actually love to visit Korea. But don't never fucking expect me to like don't expect to see me in a fucking Korean car. I hate them. I hate them. I hate Kia and I hate Hyundai. Mainly because I've grown up knowing that they were not super reliable. Probably change nowadays, to be honest. Nowadays it's probably pretty good. They're probably pretty good. But back when I grew up, Hyundai's were not reliable at all. So they were known as pretty much pieces of shits, and I always disliked them because of that. So yeah, Hyundai and Kia, I don't like brands. I mean, I don't like the cars actually. The only thing I like from these companies is from Kia, and it's not even a Kia design car. It's actually one of the designer from BMW, and if I say that, you probably already know what I'm talking about. The Kia Stinger. Kia Stinger just looks freaking awesome. I mean, it's not best looking car, but it looks pretty good. And mechanically, I know it's not super reliable because it's kind of a race car. It's pretty much a supercar made by Kia. But if we're honest, the freaking Stinger is kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy car. I like it a lot.
You know, BMW has the kidney grille, Mini has their signature hatchback shape, Renault has, well, Renault doesn't really have anything, but they're working on it. Give them a break.
Yeah, Renault, I agree, but back in the days, Renault had them hatchbacks with the fucking rear what was it? I don't remember what model it is. Cause these look like shit. We'll agree. This one, you know, it's a Renault. Like this one is like this one got the Renault vibe to it. Not this one. This one is ugly. This one. Turbo treatment. This car had actually a lot of the Renault vibe into it. Like if you just take this, you cut this in half, just look at the back, you know it's a Renault. You just know. If you look at like old fucking Renault things. Like even the Twingo looks like a Renault. It got that V shape, like that little door thing. It looks like a Renault. Uh, this Twingo looks like shit. Friends people know that it's a Twingo though. That it's a Renault. And what I'm searching for is the I don't remember this one. Everybody knows. Everybody knows it's a fucking Renault. I feel like one of the things that was the Renault identity was the mid-engine with the vents there. These vents just in front of the wheel and the rear wheel. These were purely Renault vibe, and these little square headlights. That was pure Renault.
Physically smallest yet most important parts of this brand design identity is the lights. Think about it, every car has headlights and taillights, so it's only natural that they become important parts of design identity. And
I
some
agree.
brands have become
Though,
really good at it. How
what
about
you-
we start with
you
a new
just
one that everybody
showed-
seems to become important parts.
This, if I'm not mistaken, this is from Lamborghini. It doesn't look like a Lamborghini
The
yet,
design
like.
identity. And some brands have become really good at it. How about we start with a new one that everybody seems to be liking these days? Genesis. Genesis,
I
along with
hate
their
it.
parent company Hyundai, have had a big
Yeah,
leap in design
that's
recently,
why I hate
each
it.
adopting a very unique and interesting design language. For Genesis, the
'Cause-
most notable and
Genesis is just invading the car culture now today, and I hate it for that. I just I would like okay. Hyundai is starting to make their like making a name for themselves into Rallye. There, I 100% like admire that. If you made yourself a name, if you actually try shit and actually like try to compete and like basically what cars are about, just make something fun and make people enjoy it, not just the richest one. Like just like racing is just it, it 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 makes masses come, you know, like you just go see a fucking race and you enjoy yourself and there's people with you and like I don't know, man. It's just as a kid, if you go like into a race, it's just fucking dope. You just learn to love cars because of it. So I feel like if they invest more in racing, it might really be good for them.
noticeable part being the two-line headlights and taillights. They have these on all of
Yeah,
their new cars, of course in different ways depending on the
I don't
car.
like the
Genesis models
design
like the
of Genesis.
GV60 have a more conventional
I really
version,
don't
as in
like
they're
it.
rounder and kind of look like some normal looking light housings, just like split, if you know what I mean. The other version is what you'll see on the G80, for example, with a much straighter looking, well, I mean, it just looks like two lines, kind of, hence the name.
Yep.
They put 100,000 people
It
on one
does.
arc and gave me a bed on deck
It does
943.
just
No elevator.
look like two
only
lines.
ladders. People
Though
fell
they're
every
like
night. I
diagonally
climbed down
cut.
An even more drastic version of
That's
that is
so
the Magma
ugly.
X Grand Berlinetta,
That's
where the fully lit
horribly
headlight
ugly.
lines span the
I'll be right
entire
back.
front
I'm
of the
gonna
car,
go
even
like
making
this.
up the shape of the grille. That's kind of similar to the Magma GT's taillights, which don't go as far, but they do go across the entire rear and plus some. Anyways, it's very interesting because you can take the aforementioned GV60 with its more standard light design and put it next to the Magma X Grand Berlinetta with its more exaggerated light design, and you'll still still be able to see that these two lights could come from the same brand, which they do. And you know that Genesis and Luke Donkervolk are really proud of this light design because they love to make it the center point of all their concepts. Or maybe it's just me that thinks it looks like the center point. I don't know. Speaking of I don't know why you haven't liked and subscribed to the video and to the channel yet. Except for you, guy who has already liked and subscribed. I know you have. Now that I've talked about Hyundai Plus, let me quickly discuss normal Hyundai. If you're getting bored of Hyundai brands by now, don't worry, I'll talk about like Porsche or something in a minute. I'll make this one quick. Okay, so Hyundai is kind of an outlier in this video because a lot of their cars don't really look that similar or share a light design like Genesis, but there is one thing a few models use that I thought I should mention because it's pretty unique. It's what I like to call the digital design, the digisign. No, okay, I don't actually like to call it that. I was just trying to think of something cool. It's what you see on the Ioniq 5's taillights. It's kind of like a really low resolution screen where you can see the individual pixels, and then the lit pixels are the taillights and headlights. You've also got it on the Ioniq 9 and somewhat on the new Ioniq 6. The Santa Fe also does have something similar, but I'm not really sure if it counts. There's a good chance you don't know Ferrari's current signature light design off the top of your head because it hasn't really been a thing for long enough to be as recognizable as most of the other brands' lights on this list, but it is there and I'm about to show you. Then I'll talk about Porsche, which I'm now realizing I said I'd do after Hyundai, which didn't happen. My bad. Anyways, look at pretty much, I think, any recent Ferrari a part of the current generation, and you'll see that they have a distinct design on both the headlights and taillights, which is, I mean, it's just a line. Like, that's it. It's literally just an illuminated line. Ferraris also have the rest of the light. It's not literally just a line.
It's literally just an illuminated line.
But it's uninteresting and generally just a rectangle light housing or something of the sorts. Now, kind of like what I was talking about with Genesis, some Ferraris do have a more conventional light design, like on the 296 headlights, but even then, it still has that singular line design. But they've also got cars like the F80, Dodici Cilindri. Wow, did you hear that? First try on that Italian pronunciation. I definitely didn't mispronounce that like 5 times. And the Pure Sangue that take the line thing pretty seriously. Those 3 cars also have something else in common though, which is the Daytona-inspired black visor, otherwise known as the line that goes across the front from headlight to headlight. It got a lot of hate when they revealed it on the Dodici Cilindri, but now a lot of people are deciding they actually like it, and I will say, I liked it from day one. So take that. Anyways, the black visor is now a staple in Ferrari's designs. Also, I'm now realizing I forgot to talk about the Ferrari Luce. Sorry for bringing it up, but as much as people say it doesn't look like Ferrari, it does have both the headlight things I just talked about, the line, and something that resembles the black visor. That's not to say I love the design, at least for being a Ferrari, but it does objectively have those things, so it does objectively look Ferrari-esque. Now, in terms of the body, and I guess everything else, that doesn't look particularly like a Ferrari, but you get my point. Okay, now I'll finally talk about Porsche. No, I'm not going to talk specifically about the 911 circular headlights because that's model specific and not a brand-wide design identity thing. What's actually used across their lineup is the 4-point principle, which is the 4 points inside of the headlights, hence the name. It's kind of similar to Genesis's quad lamps, which is the underlying light design inside of the 2-line design. Anyways, you can see this on any Porsche after 2013 because it debuted in the 918 Spider, and yes, that does include inside of the 911 circular light housing. I'd say it's most noticeable on the Taycan. I've never known how to pronounce it. I kind of just switch back and forth every time I say it because it's designed in a way to hide the housing, I'm pretty sure, and just look like the entire light is the 4 points principle, 4-point principle. In case you forgot, that's the name. There it is. Someone who's not into cars would probably see the Porsche Mission X and not be able to tell it's a Porsche because it takes the 4-point principle very exaggeratedly. I mean, even a lot of car people probably wouldn't catch that. It doesn't particularly look like a Porsche on the front unless you're really into cars or you know about the 4-point principle thing. Porsche also has a very coherent design identity in the taillights. It's not as interesting because it's pretty much just a line. Kind of like, you can see this on any Porsche after 2013 and not a brand.
I will not agree with that 4-point principle just for one reason. The round headlights were not just
brand-wide
on the 911 for a while. It was on the Cayenne too, and on a couple of models. So I would not agree with that. And there's another thing, the line in the back. Porsche used to have a line in the rear of all their cars. Like it was always there. That's a Ferrari was talking about.
Particularly like a Ferrari.
It looks like shit. Yeah, it looks like shit.
But you get my point. Okay, now I'll finally talk about Porsche. No, I'm not going to talk specifically about the 911 circular headlights because that's
You don't
model
need to,
specific and
'cause
not a brand.
if we're talking about that, look at this. Oh, that's funny. The headlights are pretty much round. Yeah, there's a little, like, there's a little pointy bit. But if you look at it, there still is that freaking round here. It's round in here. Same thing with other models. And even like, okay, it didn't have the rear tail light thing that I was talking about, the bar.
And
Though
wide
it had
design
them
identity thing.
fronts,
What's actually used across their lineup is the 4-point
round
principle,
thing.
which is the 4 points
But
inside of the
nowadays,
headlights.
yeah,
Hence the
I
name.
will
It's kind of
agree
similar
that
to
the
Genesis's
4-point
quad lamps,
is
which is the
always there.
underlying light design inside of the 2-line design. Anyways, you can see this on any Porsche after 2013 because it debuted in the 918 Spider.
Exactly.
And yes, that does include inside of the 911 circular light housing. I'd say it's most noticeable on the Taycan. I've never known how to pronounce it. I kind of just switch back and forth every time I say it because it's designed in a way to hide the housing, I'm pretty sure, and just look like the entire light is the 4-point principle. In case you forgot, that's the name. There it is. Someone who's not into cars would probably see the Porsche Mission X and not be able to tell it's a Porsche because it takes the 4-point principle very exaggeratedly.
But
I mean, even
at
a
the
lot
same
of car
time,
people
if
probably wouldn't
you're
catch that.
going
It doesn't particularly
hypercar,
look like a Porsche on the front unless you're really into cars or you know about the 4-point principle thing. Porsche also has a very coherent design identity in the taillights. It's not as interesting because it's pretty much just a line, kind of like Ferrari and Genesis and Hyundai. Kind of a big trend right now if you couldn't tell. Anyways, Porsche pretty much exclusively uses a light bar for the taillights, which I think is done very well. The Cayman didn't use this, but all the other models do.
Yeah, but
unless I'm forgetting one. And also
look correctly, it's still there. Like,
it's done very
it's
well.
not a light bar, but the bar is there. Look where the Porsche is. It's there. The Porsche logo, you can see the bar. It's not a light bar, but it's a bar. It's still a fucking bar. It's still reminiscent of that light bar.
Didn't use this, but all the other models do, unless I'm forgetting one. And also, the Cayman's going to have a new generation anyways, so I'm sure they'll change it to this. There's a lot of interesting light designs that are used brand-wide, but I think possibly the coolest one out of any brand is Peugeot's Lion Claw and Fang lights. The Lion Claw is the 3 lines that are the actual headlight, and the Fang is the singular line normally on the outer edges of the front fascia. Peugeot's got their Lion Claw and Fang light design going on, which they're getting closer and closer to just incorporating into the grille on the front. But what about the rear? Well, most of their cars just do the 3-line thing again, kind of similar to the Lion Claw. It's just not as strictly positioned. They're kind of just like, hey, nice taillight housing, throw some lines in there. For example, the 208 has them horizontally, and the 5008 has them positioned more like the headlights, kind of, vertically diagonally. Here's one a lot of people have possibly been waiting for. BMW. It's actually more interesting than you'd think, because while I'd say it's somewhat common knowledge that BMW has used the dual light design for decades, modern BMWs have taken it a slightly different direction. They still have the dual light design in most of their models, if not all, but they're no longer circles and instead half-circle hexagon things on some models and just lines on others, which is the version that's starting to take over even more. The X3 is surprisingly one of the most unique interpretations of this because it has the 2 lines curve right next to each other instead of one after the other, if that makes sense. I'll try and show 2 pictures so you can kind of see what I'm saying, because that actually doesn't make any sense now that I think about it. They even still use the dual light design on the new 7 Series, despite not being nearly as noticeable since the part of the split headlight that the dual lights are in is very thin, so you never see it. Mercedes, as of late, like within 2026, has started using their logos, the 3-point pointed star within their headlights, and as of slightly less late, started using them in the taillights. The taillight thing started in 2024 with the E-Class, it looks like, which looks a bit different from the headlight design, but it's still the same idea. It's not every single new Mercedes model that uses the 3-pointed star light design, but it is a few of them, especially in their new concepts, and I only assume they're going to start doing it on most, if not all of their models from here on out. I had a few more brands on the list, like Alfa Romeo, Audi, Bugatti, Toyota, and Lincoln, but I do have to stop the video at some point, and I seem to have a lot to say about headlights for some reason, so I'll leave those brands for a possible part 2 if enough people watch this. If you've gotten this far and you don't hate me, please like and subscribe. Also, this video idea was suggested by this commenter, so thanks to this commenter. I don't know if this video is exactly what you meant, or if you were talking about like map lights or something, but this is what I thought would be best, and hopefully it's what you meant. Anyways, thanks to everyone who commented suggestions on the community post I put out. They were all really good, and it's probably important to see what people want just in general, so that was really good. Thanks for watching, I think.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about
This is YouTube
Meet
after
Base
all,
44,
so probably
a complete
90%
AI
of the
creation
suggestion was shit.
Describe what you want. And
You gotta
watch it
be
take
honest,
shape.
man.
You
I'm
can
more of a
plan,
brutally
customize,
honest
and
type
expand
person.
in any direction.
I don't care if
From tools
it
built
hurts
for
people
one,
much.
platforms ready for many. From
That
passion
was the truth,
projects
it's the
to
truth, bro.
enterprise-grade systems, everything is built in and ready to launch.
Like,
It's a
truth
new
is
world
more
of
important than like fucking I don't agree with this. Modern cars are ugly. I hate modern cars. Ooh, that's interesting.
Designing a car is easy. You just design one half of it and then just do a quick copy-paste horizontal flip, and would you look at that, you've got a finished product. Most cars are symmetrical. Why? Is it because we, humans, and pretty much every other living being are bilaterally symmetrical? Or is it just because of weight distribution, aerodynamics, and especially manufacturing efficiency? Yeah, it's probably that one. But even with that explanation, I'm technically trying to define an answer to this question when I really shouldn't even be doing that. Why cars are symmetrical just comes down to the following fact. This looks better than this. So that's why cars are symmetrical. Except they're not even close to being a mirror image of themselves. Details like fuel doors, tow hook covers, wipers, even mirrors, not to mention all of this, all serve to make up the illusion of symmetry. It's a facade. In Europe, cars are mandated to have at least one reverse light and additionally a rear fog light. If a manufacturer feels like they want to save a few pennies that day, what they'll do is they design the rear of their car to have one reverse light on the right side of the car, and on the equivalent spot on the left side is where they'll put the rear fog light.
Yep.
You could have two of each, but it isn't required by law, so oftentimes you end up with cars that feature a red fog light on one side and a white reverse light on the other side. Good luck trying to not notice that the next time you're driving behind a Passat. Sometimes though, asymmetry isn't a necessity or a way to save money. Sometimes car designers are allowed to get weird, designing asymmetry down to basic design elements and not just secondary details. These are true uneven car designs, and throughout history, they've actually been more common than you might think. All in all, I feel like the vast majority of these cars can be placed neatly into 4 different categories, depending on how they utilize their unsymmetrical look. The ones with odd doors, interesting intakes, just the weird ones, and Renault. Now, when it comes to asymmetric doors, one on one side and two on the other, Renault.
Okay, this is hilarious. Just Renault. That's not the one I'm searching for. I'm trying to search something, guys. Bear with me. I guess we'll just do that and
Now, when it comes to asymmetric
pull
doors,
this up
one on one side and
bigger.
two on the other, what probably immediately comes to mind is the Hyundai Veloster, Hyundai's flagship hot hatch coupe thing. But believe it or not, the Veloster wasn't even the first coupe to feature this 3-door setup.
Wait, it
Rad.
has 3 doors? Not gonna lie.
Rad. Side and two on the other, what probably immediately comes to mind is the Hyundai Veloster, Hyundai.
I never knew the Veloster had outdoors. I never noticed that. This guy's about to make me feel like I'm not even a car guy.
Flagship hot hatch coupe thing. But believe it or not, the Veloster wasn't even the first coupe to feature this 3-door setup.
How is it
Rad.
considered a coupe? It's more of a hatchback.
That's the word Saturn used.
Stop playing alone. Make every game a shared experience. Hacko AI keeps you
Brother
company
talked
with
about
real-time
Saturn.
interaction and
I
feedback.
heard that.
There's a druid side quest ahead.
To describe the 1999 SC
Hell
coupe.
yeah.
But don't get too excited yet. Rad wasn't telling you how to feel, it just stood for, obviously, rear accessible door. 1 on the right side, 2 on the left side for easier access to the rear seats. Saturn was very proud of this idea, probably feeling that it kept up their image of being a different kind of car company, and thus marketed the 3-door SC like this.
Why didn't anyone think of this before?
That's great and all, except that this idea wasn't thought up by a market research analyst or a team of engineers at Saturn. Instead, the idea belonged to a Saturn dealer who brought it up during a meeting after his 8-year-old son complained about how hard it was to climb in the back of a 2-door coupe. That kid probably never saw a single penny from that thought. Anyway, years later, for different reasons, that same dealer who suggested the 3-door design sued Saturn. That's right, yet another victory for GM there. But regardless, the Saturn SC wasn't even the first car with an alliterative name to feature this 3-door setup. Mitsubishi introduced a variant of its Minica K car called the Minica Lettuce around 1989. A hatchback sold in supermarkets, with the thought behind it being to simplify the loading of shopping and children. This sounds like
The
a
loading of
great
children.
idea, which is why other Japanese manufacturers took notice of it, with cars like the Honda SMX also adopting this design. But the Minica Lettuce wasn't even the only hatchback in 1989 to feature this 3-door setup. As per usual, Ford was rather late when it came to introducing a 5-door variant of its Fiesta subcompacts. By 1989, basically all of its competitors were already offering a 5-door version. So to make a big stink out of them finally jumping on the bandwagon, Ford showed off the Fiesta Urba concept. Cool and sporty on one side, practical and, well, new on the opposite side. But in the end, it was just a preview of the new Fiesta, a non-production car for all intents and purposes. Quite like the earlier Peugeot 309 Break, a station wagon proposed to them by coach builder Rallye, which, despite looking production ready, was an offer never taken up by Peugeot. But the Fiesta Urba wouldn't even be the last asymmetrical Ford to feature an odd 3-door setup. And this is where I have to clarify something important. Prior to 1995, most minivans with a rear sliding door featured just that, one sliding door on the passenger side. The driver's side features the driver door and a massive panel of nothingness. This kept the costs down and the structural rigidity up. It also meant that most American minivans from this era were asymmetrical. though in this case it was a cost-cutting measure dressed up as practicality and never a design statement. As it was, arguably, Chrysler, who arguably introduced the idea of a minivan, arguably, to the world in 1984, it would also be them who would revolutionize the segment again by offering a driver's side sliding door on the new 3rd gen minivans. And it's here where we slide back to Ford. The new Windstar had beaten the new Chrysler minivans to the market by over a year, which seemed like a great strategy, a head start. But that advantage barely mattered when Chrysler pulled out their golden trump card.
And here's something they've asked for. A
Yeah.
second sliding door on the driver's side. Available on
The
all
Dodge
1996
Grand
Dodge
Caravan.
Caravan models.
Ford was, to say the least, blindsided and made a quick effort to retaliate. 3 years later, instead of changing the structure of the body shell to fit a sliding door on the driver's side, they changed the structure of the body shell to make the driver's side door longer. It was called
What?
Family Entry System Door because it was just longer. But regardless,
That's
the Windstar wasn't even the first American car to have a wider door on one side. The AMC Pacer's passenger side door was about 10 centimeters longer than on the other end of the car. You might think this was a production issue, but no, that is simply the way it was. As I mentioned,
Why,
the
though?
second category that I made up encompassed interesting intakes. It's here where asymmetric design choices can often be used to affect performance and aerodynamics, and aren't strictly designed around practicality for the user. Lamborghini's Murcielago LP640 featured side intakes where the left side has a large opening, feeding the oil cooler as well. On the right, you've got an indent. Similar story with the Alfa Romeo 4C as another example. However, those are expensive sports cars and not the cheap trash that I actually want to talk about. The Ford Escort GT. The normal Escort was a mild-mannered, Taurus-inspired little runabout that was eventually upgraded and became a GT. Look at that offset Ford badge.
Prêt à améliorer vos
That's kinda
workflows?
cool.
Python. PyCharm. Le seul
I
outil
love
Python dont
the
vous avez
offset
besoin.
badge.
Conçu pour les professionnels des données, du machine learning et de l'IA. Programmer plus intelligemment, livrer plus rapidement. Avec Julie, notre agent de programmation intelligent et des outils d'IA directement dans votre IDE. Avec les notebooks Jupyter inclus, gratuitement. Et une puissante prise en charge pour Python, SQL, Git et tout ce dont vous pouvez avoir besoin. PyCharm. Ressentez la différence dans vos workflows de sciences des données, d'IA et de ML. Obtenez-le maintenant. Gratuit pour toujours. Plus 1 mois d'édition pro.
Okay, can I stop
Those
having
angled
this? Thank
strips
you.
cut out to become a larger intake required for that beefy 1.8-liter Mazda engine. This car
That
makes
was a
me
Mazda
feel
engine.
things.
It's kind of funny.
A similar idea for the Fiat Ritmo, except that the badge is not what
I
it
hope
should
he's
be
gonna
on the
talk
bottom.
about the
It's in the
intake on the
center.
FC.
Going back to the list of categories for a moment, at the bottom there you'll see the word Renault. On many classic Renaults, including the 4, 5, 6, 7 and, that's right, 16, you have to look underneath their exterior skin to find the source of their asymmetry. Looking for ways to maximize interior.
I'll be right back. Just going to get the launch and all. By the way, guys, right now I'm gonna be eating. I would like to know if you guys would be interested if I make a video, a really stupid video idea I have since a long time. It's gonna be on sim racing on BeamNg. It would be driving a car and trying to race shit, either rally, like testing different type of driving, and compare being sober, being drunk, and being high on weed, since it's legal in my country, just to see how it affects my driving performances, just for fun. Let's start.
Exterior space when developing the original Renault 4, they assembled a rear suspension setup of semi-trailing arms and torsion bars, which were mounted one ahead of the other. This design allowed both the left and right bars to be identical, but which also led to the wheelbase on each side of the car being different. This particular setup was later used for multiple other models and became kind of a Renault thing, just like I don't know, being unreliable. Whatever, just think of a punch.
Unreliable? Renault?
If you've ever tried to make a movie or a short series with AI,
there's a lot
you
of
know
French
the
people
struggle.
that would see the
Your lead character looks like a
Renault is
different person
okay.
in every shot.
Depends
It breaks the story.
which car you got.
And it's why AI video hasn't been ready.
Like
for
that
real
Pinto
drama
is pretty.
Today, we're
No,
looking
I
at
think it's a
Pippin,
Klingo.
the world's
Whatever.
first
That's pretty
But
good.
that's still practical reasoning. Occasionally, car designers are allowed to simply break the mold. For decades, Land Rover's Discovery has featured an offset license plate design on the rear tailgate as a homage to the original Discovery, back when they still held full-size spare tires on the back. And basically nobody appears to like this design. You can easily find kits online for converting your Discovery to be boring, mundane, symmetrical. People don't take well to these strange, different design choices. The Nissan Cube is probably one of the few cars to be bullied out of production, and that one has to be the poster child for these two words.
It was so
Nobody
ugly.
even remembers that you could option it to have a carpet on the dashboards, because everyone's fixated on this.
What?
Well, maybe this movement needs a better, more appealing face. I offered to the discussion the Anadol Böcek. Tasteful, classical,
It's kind of cool. I gotta be honest, I kind of like it.
To all Corsi members, I love you, including everyone who has joined recently, like Caleb Pearson, Vladimir Alexish, Akbar3339, Space Hobo, Yu Jong Love, Kian van den Akker, XX9, Tom Wilderman.
There's a few. Okay, this guy got some pretty good subscriber. I don't know. Would it be like right now? I don't have any purpose for it, but I don't know if at one point I might do a Patreon or something. Might be good for me just to try to, but it depends. It's just I'm not here for the money. It's mostly just passion. So that's why I purely do free stuff, like YouTube stuff. And right now I'm under 100 subscribers. My channel is not even monetized. I think it's at 1,000 that you can monetize it. I've been doing streams for over 3 years now, I think. Maybe less. Maybe like 2.5 years or something. and I've been making videos for 1 year. All this video was 1 year ago. It's not that old. I mostly have BeamNg videos. I have a few scrap mechanic ones. I might redo some scrap mechanic videos just because they kind of work. As soon as the update comes out, I'm doing videos on scrap mechanic. That's for sure. I would have liked my challenge mode video to have a little more views, because it was a lot of efforts, not just into the video but on the map, and the map itself doesn't have many demos. I made a literal giant computer just to run everything. We still got the event. Okay. Camera. Holy shit, it's already 2 a.m. Time flies.
Another day, another battle. Which of you months will win? I wonder. Kill them. You might grow enough to survive.
some surprising.
Metal has a hammer. Start again. Die again.
Swapping!
I was feeling generous.
Reloading ammo!
An organic is ready to end. A hammer held by organics.
Kill him.
Organics have the last weapon. Binary done. An organic has the final weapon. Live like others. Congratulations. You stepped over others for temporary salvation. How human of you.
I kind of want to play on the finals right now. Still got an update though. I think I'd be better on the finals. I don't have the best aim, but on the finals, if you play good, it doesn't really matter. How good of an aim you got. I mean, your aim is important. Don't get me wrong. Oh my god, there's the new season is here too. New season. And there's an ultimate battle pass. There at the B. Because they need to make more money. Always more. I mean, the battle pass is here so people spend money on the game. There's a few free things, always. That's great. Why bringing an upgraded version of the Battle Pass where you need to pay more than the Battle Pass? Because the Battle Pass you already got to pay. Now you gotta pay like $30, $40 just for some skins. And there's gonna be new ones in like 2 months. So I really don't understand the premium Battle Pass. I really don't. Like, I know you want to make money, but come on. Didn't you make enough monies with Arc Raider being fucking $60 at its launch? Like, it was pricey as fuck. I don't understand. I always need money. Always. Just not enough capitalists, I guess. I'm not a communist for sure. I'm not much of a capitalist. I don't comprehend money that much. Still waiting on the update to be finished. It's at 67%. Tells me here. Holy fuck, why? Tells me 30 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna be possible for me to play some finals tonight. I think we're gonna go on the park actually. We won't spend fucking 50 minutes just waiting for an update. While I stream. It's just long. Holy shit. On turn. Release their source code. They basically made it so we can just do whatever we need. It's crazy. On turn is kind of cool, to be honest. I don't know how it did to survive this long, but it's a world of itself. It's pretty cool, to be honest. Like the RP and all is cool. There's a lot of people on there. I don't know if I have any friends that still play it though. I don't think so. Got a friend with 2,000 hours in this game. It's crazy. What I liked about it, it's survival, but it's also like a crafting game. It's a little bit of everything. I used to play with a group of people. It's cool. It's 2G. I will reinstall it. It's gonna take me like 2 minutes to reinstall compared to that 50 minutes. Just to update the finals. I will never re-download Crossout, I think. Just because it became such a fucking big game. It's as bad as Walking War Robot. But Walking War Robot is like my childhood game. So I still play it. Crossout just lost me at one point. It's a lot of money too. It's not like War Robot, you get cells that you get stuff that are worth like hundreds of dollars theoretically, but they cost literally like 90 cents. So there's that. Still not sure about. It looks okay enough. I've just heard reviews of it being super good. Did I see what I think I saw? Yeah, there was the OD drift. Freaking skin, that's kind of cool. Falcon livery with the orange details, that's cool. Oh, there's a bunch of DLC for different cars. Yeah, OD backchase driver car. You can literally buy this car in the game. It's $10. You gotta pay fucking $10. You can buy the E86. You pay E86 from the initial for $2.39. Let's check it out. Is there any community left on this game? I'm gonna start Discord, check real quick on the on-turn Discord. See if there's people in there, or if it's totally dead. You would think it's totally dead after the years it's been, but I'm pretty sure it's still alive. This game has a crazy community, to be honest. Still online. The group seems pretty still active. That's kind of crazy. I think there's a new map too that has been released to the game a little while ago. Let's see if this game is still as fun as it was back in the days. I'm gonna keep Discord on the side. I'm gonna wait for me to be ancient enough in the Discord server to be able to chat in the server. Okay, that's weird. Hunter is taking more than a page right now. It's taking like a page and a half, maybe two. I think it's trying to take my both my screens right now. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, that's weird. I didn't do that. It just. It's been a couple of years, I think, I didn't play this game. So, I'm gonna be really bad. Yeah, they made it possible that we can basically do anything now. Display. Borderless, that's what I'm searching for. And I got a 2000. So. 2,500 actually. 560, this one. It says one. Oh, okay, there. 164 yards. That's what I got. I will be limiting frame rate to 100. That's pretty much it. I think it fixed itself, yeah. I'm good. Okay. Is there still got appointments? Let's go. I don't need that. Streamer mode is gonna be on. Holy shit, there's a lot. There's still a big amount. And there's a lot of players online. Let's see if there's still some RP servers. PvE. Oh, it's Japanese. RP. There's not a lot compared to before, I guess. Skin drops. It's 100 times. TPA. So we can TP. Let's just go. And so oh, there's still some. Like there's three persons in this one as of now. UA Russia. What about? Hmm. 10 of 100. A bunch of people on there. Let's go see. Let's go see what's up. I don't know how old this game is. No, it's pretty old, but I don't know how. Two 2014. This game is 12 years old. It's not that old. I think BeamNg came earlier than that. (2013). BeamNg was launched in 2013. It got Steam Early Access on PC in 2015. It's crazy. I think there's like one map I know. This map I don't think I know. Oh, shark found. Oh no. I don't speak Russian. Why do I hear voices? Okay, I can't really play a game with freaking Russian playing. Russian things. So I will exit for sure. We're gonna delete this, and I'm gonna put good old. Is it Washington? I think Washington was the map I used to play a lot. Is there a US one? This one is Iraq. French. PvP old school. This one I will just favorite because I might want to go at one point out of stream. Rallye plus. This is 2-time drops. I think I'm gonna go in there just because it's 2-time. Just so we can make some loot. Most of them are from Europe. The name is not really big anymore. America. Never was that big in America compared to Europe. Is there still the arena mode? Let's see. arena still exists. Doesn't seem like there's many people. There's a few people in this one. Might be doable. That's cool. I might do that at one point. Customize the name displayed in streamer mode by modifying streamer names that cheesy. How? Okay, how do you get the guns? Tests. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's weird. My skills. Fuck. Oh, okay, I think they just get reset every time. Can I? Oh, let's see. Now let's throw it cube. What just happened? I'm so confused. I guess this is like a farming area to get the loot so you can play the other mode. They all say the same thing. Okay, that's kind of cool. How do I get the loot? What bells can I get? Motherfucker. So I just lost what I had, right? No. Okay. What can I do? I need, I guess, tools and all. Let's go in the arena. What's this? FFA. Oh shit. I think I shouldn't have done here. I know there's clearly a way to make money that I just haven't found yet. Burn to death, that's kind of funny. It's a PvP map, but right now I just got missions and shit. Can I maybe sell the shit? Oh my god, this is all like it's been such a long time since I played this. No, I don't even know the fucking things anymore. Okay, how? That's new. Information. Yeah, I see them go here since the beginning. I'm gonna go in 44. No. Okay. What about there? Oh, freaking right in Spanish. I don't care. Slash cheats, okay. That's fine. Okay. See you quick. Holy fuck, that's a lot of shit. I guess I'm full. I don't remember how you equip these. I think it's R or something. F, no. What is it? I don't remember. Fuck. I told you it's been a long time since I played this game. Aha, T. Oh, Since now I don't have a choice, I'll got this. Okay, that might be fun. Let's see the kid though. That kid I liked. Why I got a nickel again? That's not what I wanted. Oh fuck! No, I got it. Okay, let's kill ourselves. Quicker. It seems cool what it is. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, okay. Shit, that's a lot of bullets. Bro, let me try to, bro. Let me try. Yeah, they just want each other. Holy shit. I'm really rusted. I'm gonna need to do better. Other mags? No? grab these. Oh my god. Okay, that's pain. Yes. Empty them. I used to be good in this game. It's been such a long time. Okay. Bread there. That's a little bitch. Bitch ass. Okay, I'm just fucking up this guy. Fuck it. Little asshole. Only mags. Only. How the fuck do I just empty this? It's a little slow to empty, you know? Let's see what I got here. Let's put that instead. And here. I think I'm gonna like this better. Why didn't it shoot? Why didn't it shoot? Oh. I gotta put the new mag in. Yes. Is bro named Broken AI? He's named Broken AI. Okay. Doesn't have a brain. How the fuck does he survive this? Every time. And I just really want him to die. Okay. No, for real. This guy ain't legit for shit. Wow. That was in his head. Can't. This guy's not legit. There's no way. There was no way this guy is legit. Finally. Bro, there's no way on this. Dude, this guy is not legit. Ain't no way. Okay, I hate this scope. I have like let's see real quick. Let's try 5. I don't have permission to execute this comment. Okay, fuck you. Let's just put no scope. I'm preferring this. A gun. Where are the people? Only him. Only him. Did I change my? Oh my god! I forgot. I had freaking like controls dedicated to this thing. Oh, we need to get back at this game for real. What if can I create the map like a server without it being a server? Just filters, those. I don't think so. Let's do a single player one. I know Washington pretty well. Advanced. Okay, that. I'll deactivate this. That's mainly what I want is weapon to not have red movie. Because this I don't care. The rest I don't care. It's really more weapons and what's with the weapons. this. Will not like this, but yeah, I'll double it. Loot chance. I will also double this. So zombies are gonna be the thing that give me loot. Crawler, sprinter, flanker. Here, one. Burner. I'm gonna have another 0 before 1. Acid. No, yeah. Electric boss. Okay, that's gonna be a lot of 0s, then a 1. Okay. Wind boss. That's gonna be like really a lot of 0s, then 1. Fire boss. Yeah, I think you understood. A lot of 0s, then 1. Spirit, no. No. I refuse. I actually refuse. Okay, what else? Spirit, yeah, I refuse. That sounds funny. That sounds funny too. Actually, this not 30. I got a tree. Fuck you. Max Mega Drop. The Mega Drop, where do I? Maybe 100 is a little much. Let's do like 20. 20 is a lot. The rest I'm all gonna keep it like that, but the weapons, like, I don't want to lose them. Actually, fuck it. Yeah. Can start bleeding. a little faster. Days. Who's gonna be max? Minimum? Like almost 2 aircrafts. Yes. Charge available? Fuck no. The loot can be absolutely crazy on this server that I made, but everything else is not. What? That's a server I already made? That's not what I wanted to do. Rather, okay, that's kind of a sick house. These prevent the spawn of zombies, by the way. So like my house is pretty chill. This is just a source of light. Shouldn't be. I don't know. I know I can go through the other side. I don't remember if I have anything here. This place is pretty empty. Water reserve. These are all empty. Okay. This is all ready to harvest, actually. Where's the seeds? I don't have seeds. Okay. I want to make bread. Close the source, so I need to be near this, right? Let me make bread. Okay, this already changed a lot from what it was before. Like, this is not the same game already. One of the things that makes this game not able to die is the fact that they keep putting updates out. Try to kill a community when the developers actually listen to the community and continue making the game. Like, we can't ask better. It's not like the craziest game around, that's for sure. Like, I won't say that Content is the best game. It's not. But the developers are pretty darn nice. Like, they're pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. I make a beef sandwich. Let's make a beef sandwich. I want to make a beef sandwich. Do you want to make a beef sandwich? I want. I need kitchen capabilities, which I do not have, it seems. What are those inside? I put devil veins in them. That's good. Add a couple of them too. Let's just go around. I have no idea what I did to this map. If I have more than just this base. I think I have that. Do that. Okay, that's my helicopter, I guess. Let's go and see the gun store has anything cool. Let's go get some animals and shit. Base clip, sport shot. That's actually pretty good. I don't need that. I got a lot of bread. I got like a lot of bread. I should probably get myself a backpack at one point. I'm pretty sure the base itself as I probably made it in, like with commands and all. If I'm honest, I probably did back in the days. I'd like to do that just to be able to have a start and not grind like a dumbass. I was never crazy on the grinding. Let's go ahead and go there. How do you ping? I don't remember how. I want to go to Scorpion 7. I somewhat remember how to do it. game still looks like it did before. Like it's not a game you're expecting to be like super beautiful and all. It just does its job. It looks like it should look. It doesn't need to be complicated and all. It's not that kind of a game. It's more like Reserve, I guess, kind of game. I don't know. Scorpion 7 is not that far from here. We should be just before this, actually. Oh, pretty close. Oh, and by the way, yes, I have a few skins in the game, but I don't have a lot. And the ones that were worth money, I kind of sold them. Even though a friend gave them to me. I'm a little sad that I did that for that reason. Just because my friend gave them to me. An old friend that I don't talk to anymore. He was a pretty nice guy. Oh fuck. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, I got an idea. If I want to clear this spot, Orange is gonna be my best friend, I think. So I'm gonna stay here and do the classic. That's a lot of zombies. Keep hitting the fucking fence. How many bullets? What? Bro just ate like 4 bullets in his head. I know we're at range, but come on. Fuck. Okay, I still got a lot of stuff in my... Do it. I don't know. I want to that. Now this I can drop. This I will recuperate. Sports shop, I don't care. I think that's a sports shop too. That I will take. I have no idea what it does, but I will take. Add the teeth top, that's perfect. Let's take this and this. Because the knife might be really useful actually. Since we don't have many weapons. Okay, one is at 40 and the other one at 8. Craft bullets. Oh, this is good. That I don't care. Do we have a vest? Yeah, we got a vest. Viper mag, I don't care about that. Let's go here real quick. Knife. Knife. Nothing. Did you say katana? Because I heard you say katana. Hell yeah. We got a bunch of vipers. I don't know. I don't know about the viper. I never really liked the gun. It's okay, I guess. How do you? Oh yeah. That's suppressor. Okay, let's put a new one on and grab the old one. And where here. Let's just fill up a few mags of the Viper. I'm just gonna strip this one, actually. Strip. Drop. Take this one. And let's fill up a few mags of saber tooth. Now, let's pick up this. Let's pick up the other ones. Yeah, I'm hungry for sure. Okay, let's eat a little. I don't have a lot of bullets for that that gun. I kind of like the 1911. I might keep it. This how does it work? Does it do something? Can I like paint the truck or something? I think I'm gonna go with this. Maybe not. I'll see. But There's an APC, and I didn't spawn that, that's for sure. I got a bunch of mags, but they're all fucked. Let's just eat this and hope it gives me water. Yeah, not really. Oh, okay. And I ate 2 for some reason. Okay, that's actually what we need, I think, for this gun. Craft, yeah. Let's take the soda. So we can drink it. Well, that's not a lot of loot. I always felt like the sound in this game sound like Minecraft. Like the zombies. The zombie sound just sounds the same as in Minecraft. 2 of them. Like one, I saw like having one time to time. 2 of them. 2 of them is crazy. 2 of them is actually crazy. Oh, I forgot I got a canteen. How long I had what I needed with water. Let's strip this one because the bullets are super rare. We're gonna do this. Hit these. Let's check here, and we got 2 bullets. That's actually crazy. I know I boosted the drops, but that much, I mean, these are basically anti-tank rounds. I could break that APC really quick if I wanted to. No zombies, that's good. I don't have a glow torch. Okay. Torch would have been really useful right now. Just to fix the car. Where's the military base? There's Heritage Valley, that's really good, and we could go up base too. Let's actually turn around and go to the gun shop in case there's anything that's usable. Try to kill the more zombies. Military magazine, that could be really useful actually. Still got ace clip, I don't care. It's almost 4 and time goes quick. I'm gonna go off stream in a second. This base is dope, though. I'm gonna be sad to destroy this map just to make a new one. Because you can only make one solo. If I go lower, it'll be more complicated if I go high. If I go high, it's gonna be simpler. So I'll go high. Actually, I could use this too. I just don't know if it uses the keys or what. If it uses the keys, yeah, that's gonna be hard. Because my keys are fucked up. Oh well. Let's try it still. How fucking solid are they? Oh, P90? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You telling me P90? I'm throwing that fucking piece of shit called the Viper or whatever the fuck out of the out of page. This is mine. Another saber tooth. I saw something. I found something. And I will take it. It's now my bitch. Oh fuck. I need bullets. Fucking P90. I just had to ask. Nice. Let's just drop mine. Take this one. Strip it. No, I said strip it. Strip it. Drop. Take mine back. And do a stupid build on mine with this. This kind of looks cool. This kind of looks cool. I kind of like it. Let's just fill those real quick. There's a tank. Does the tank work? Oh fuck. Reload, please. Hey PC, how are you doing? Rough. And the tank. The tank is actually doing pretty good. Just the battery's missing. Okay, let's see. Let's put something on this just for funds. Light now. I used to play so much on this game. Let's just use it to use it. Oh well. Doesn't have a bullet. Fuck. Okay, chill out, boys. Well, now seems like we don't need that third breaker. We've got a fucking AK. And between an AK and add a fucking stat track on this gun? I thought I sold all my skins. Seems I did not. And I'm kinda happy because the skin is just freaking dope. I would be mad if I fucking sold this. Oh, that's high caliber. I want low caliber, I guess. I got a fucking nigger box. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take off the mag from this. I'm pretty sure that's low caliber. Yep. I mainly just for discovering the game, then at one point I might remake an old game and all. But even at some point, I'm thinking about making a server. Where the fuck are they? Oh. The gun. Where are you? Come here. You want bullets? Here. He's not that hungry. That's surprising. Oh, it's not juice box. We need juice. Egg. Ouch. That was my leg. Let's put the better cannon. Ranger barrel. I have no idea what the ranger barrel does. Apart from being ranger. Whatever that means. Let's take the one with the less ammo. Let's go directly to the base. It's beside us. Little bug there. It's gonna be a fun time. Let's risk it for the distance. Even though I won't get the distance. Oh fuck, I'm gonna crash. I crashed. Oh, well, the helicopter is fine. She's fine. She's a fine woman. Oh fuck, no gas left. Let's go. Okay, okay. Where to go, boys? Where to go? Fuck, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's clear out a little the military things. No, this one is gonna be kind of worthy. This one too, most probably. Finally. Oh, the fuck is pushing me? He's pushing me. Yo, calm the fuck down, you bitch ass. Didn't even deserve to die with my fucking katana. I should have shot you in the face. Let's put this here for no reason. You fucking. That's a very fast way to take out the wheel. Oh fuck. Zombies. Where's that bus I saw? Oh fuck. It's a red moon. The extra horny full moon. Oh fuck, they're all coming out. Okay, I need to go to the weapon storage. Okay, let's just do. Oh fuck. That was a good thing. Military suppressor. Fuck, someone's behind me. Well, that was a suppressor. A suppressor. Yeah, sus. Sus. They're really I'm bleeding. I'm currently bleeding. That's not cool. Alright, got this gun. Okay, maybe do a couple, let's do this though. Oh yeah, the red fire just okay. It was turned on. Well, I said, okay, time to go offline. Hello. Okay. Time to go sleep. Anyway. That just looks like a VR headset. Oh my god, I don't have a lot of skins anymore. Oh my god, somewhere. I'm sorry, I got like one left.